This one ETF is up nearly 100% in the last year. It's been going up 30% every year for the last 15 years. It's not an AI ETF, yet it outperforms basically every one. This ETF is called SMH. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into SMH and grading it to determine how good of an ETF this actually is. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. Before we jump in, let's review this ETF real quick and learn a little bit more about it. So SMH is a semiconductor ETF. What that basically means is going to look at the 25 largest US listed semiconductor companies and follow that as an index. This specific ETF was created or IPO'd in December of 2011. It currently has a total net assets of 67.42 billion. In order for a company to be included in this ETF, there is some criteria that must be met. For a company to be included in this ETF, the company must generate at least 50% of their revenue from semiconductors or semiconductor equipment. On top of that, a company must have a market cap of over 150 million, a 3-month average daily trading volume of at least $1 million, minimum trading value of 250,000 shares each month over the last 6 months, and it must be traded on a recognized domestic or international stock exchange. All right, with that out of the way, let's go into the first grading category, which is going to be the returns. So far this year to date, the SMH ETF has returned 55.13%. Obviously, this is subject to change. In the past year, this ETF has brought in almost 100% return, sitting at 94%. And just a couple days ago, it was over 100% in the last year. Over the last 5 years, we're looking at a 351.2% return. And all time, this ETF has returned over 1,000% gains. Here's a little perspective on what those numbers actually mean. In the last 6 months, if you invested $10,000 into this ETF, you would have approximately $14,000. If you invested $10,000 1 year ago, that would be about $19,258. Now go back 3 years, you'd have $36,848. Now, if we go back to the very beginning, if you invested $10,000 into this ETF, by now you would have $436,683. Simply, those returns are incredible. Now, if we compare that to the S&P 500, so far this year, we only have an 8% gain. This outperforms the S&P in every way possible. When it comes to the types of returns, this ETF is going to be primarily based on market appreciation. So this is by no means a dividend ETF. Zooming out a little bit, if we take a look at the year-to-date performance, like we said, SMH sitting above 50%, the general AI technology category is going to be at 13.51%. Over the course of the 1 year, we're over 90%, the category is sitting at 54%, and over the last 3 years, SMH doubles the return of its category. So considering all these factors and the past performance, SMH is going to get a 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to returns. All right, we talked about the returns. Now let's move on to the second grading category, which is going to be risks. When talking about risk, I want to bring up the beta. The beta, which we see here, is going to be 1.98 for this ETF. Simply put, a beta of 1.98 or rounding up to 2 basically means that if the benchmark, or let's say the market, moves 10%, we could expect that this ETF is going to move 20%. That is important to talk about because when we own this stock, we do have to consider not only how much it grows, but when it falls, how much does it actually fall? So looking at the last year of trading for this specific ETF, we can see that it's been consistently on the way up. However, that isn't without its downturns. If we zoom into the last couple of weeks, we can see that this ETF has gone down in just the course of a couple weeks. In 3 weeks, we're down almost 20%. But even at 20%, that's not as worse as it's gotten. In 2022, when we had a big market correction, this specific ETF experienced a drop from its peak to its low of over minus 47%. Anyone that invested in this area, they experienced for a full year after purchase consistently downward progress. Given that this ETF has a beta of 2, it's going to be likely that these kind of swings are going to happen in the future. So when you decide that you want to purchase this specific ETF or invest into it, be aware that most likely you too will experience this kind of momentum shift. So due to this ETF's beta, its volatility, and its tendency to shift very dramatically between it going up and down, I'm going to rank SMH a 5 out of 10 when it comes to risk. Real quick, if you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get back to it. All right, so far we've made it through the returns, we've looked at the risks, but what about what's actually inside? Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual holdings for this specific ETF. So as of July 17th, 2026, there are 26 holdings inside of the SMH ETF. Some of the largest names are NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, Broadcom, AMD, SML, and so on. The top 10 holdings for this ETF make up 70% of the total assets, meaning that the value of this ETF is heavily concentrated within the top 10 companies. Let's tie it back to the original idea behind this ETF and it being a semiconductor ETF. All of these top 10 holdings, they are very profound semiconductor companies. All these companies make the best AI chips and most of them don't have any direct competition. What I also really like about the quality of the holdings inside this ETF is how frequently they're reviewed and rebalanced. There is semi-annual reviews in March and September with quarterly rebalances. While the ETF itself is passive, the company itself is looking into it, making sure that it is following the index as closely as possible. So considering that this is supposed to be a semiconductor ETF and it holds all of the best AI chip manufacturing companies and the fact that it gets reviewed on a quarterly basis, I'm going to give this ETF a ranking of 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to holdings quality. So we just finished looking at the quality of the holdings inside of this ETF. But how well are they diversified? It's not only important to have good holdings inside of an ETF, but it's also important to not put all of your eggs in one basket, just in case if things take a turn for the worse. As I mentioned in the previous segment, this specific ETF has total holdings of 26 companies. This is by far the smallest amount of holdings in a given ETF. As I also mentioned in the previous section, the top 10 holdings make up 70% of the total assets. That is very concentrated in the top 10 holdings. Majority of ETFs range between 40 and 60%, with 60% also being very high concentration. Looking at the sector diversification, it is completely in technology. That isn't a surprise necessarily. This is supposed to be a semiconductor ETF, but if we're looking at the broad picture and comparing it to other ETFs, being 100% in technology definitely opens you up to that sector-specific risk. So if there's any bad news for the technology sector, this ETF is going to feel it immediately. Now, another form of diversification to look at when reviewing an ETF is geographic diversification. The holdings inside of SMH are primarily out of the US, with 77% of the total assets coming out of the United States. In other words, when you invest into this specific ETF, consider that you're going to be investing into a very concentrated form of the top AI chip manufacturers. There's nothing necessarily wrong in doing this as long as you understand that you're putting yourself at a greater risk if anything were to happen to these specific companies. So looking specifically at the diversification, considering the amount of holdings, the geographic diversification, I would give this ETF a rating of 5 out of 10 when it comes to diversification. All right, so now let's move on to the final grading category for this specific ETF, and that's going to be future potential. It's had an incredible performance so far, returning an average 30% return over the last 15 years. But can it continue that trend, and what can we reasonably expect? So next, we logically have to look at the semiconductor and AI chip industry itself. The consulting firm McKinsey expects that semiconductor spending will reach an approximate 1.6 trillion by 2030 as a base case. That would be up from 775 billion in 2024, or a compounded annual growth rate of over 13% in that period. Summarizing what that just meant, AI chip spending is not going to slow down. It is expected to grow at a consistent rate into the future. What does this mean? More money flowing into AI chips leads to greater revenue, leads to greater profit for these AI companies found inside this ETF. Because this ETF captures the 25 largest semiconductor companies by market cap, as those new winners grow in size, they will be eventually included inside of this ETF. So by purchasing this ETF, you will be exposed to those new winners in the future. In the bull case scenario, so if everything goes right, we're going to see that AI infrastructure spending continues to grow and all these companies continue to see record profits and record growth. In return, this ETF will continue to perform well and provide returns to its stockholders. In the bearish scenario, or if things don't go as planned, if there's some kind of economic or political issues, and maybe one of these top 10 companies experience some kind of issues that could really hurt the specific ETF and cause it to take a steep dive downwards. However, looking at the future potential based on the actual category itself, the future outlook, and the various firms predicting an increase of AI infrastructure spending, I would say that SMH deserves a rating of 8 out of 10 for future potential. So now wrapping things up. So now looking at all the grading categories that we looked at today, that being the returns, the risk, the holdings quality, diversification, and potential, this is going to give SMH a final score of 8 out of 10 as an ETF. A score of 8 out of 10 means that this is a great ETF with a lot of good attributes. But it's also critical to understand that just because a ETF is ranked a 8 out of 10 doesn't mean it's guaranteed to provide returns in the future. In the end, it is impossible to predict exactly what will happen, but just understand that this specific ETF is going to have significant moves both in the up and downwards direction. Don't forget to do your own research before you invest. Thanks for joining me in today's video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more, let me know in the comments what other ETFs you would like to see. Hey, my name is Casey, and this was another investigative look into your wallet's future. I'll catch you in the next one.